Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna focus on 3 common conjunctions to express contrast and opposition in Italian. I would say that this is like a partially requested video because one of you asked me some information on ma, and I want to give you the information on ma, but I also want you to learn on top of that però and BENSI. Take note that after the explanation on ma, I will also give you some common everyday Italian expressions that contain this little word ma, and that can be very useful to level up your Italian and sound more like a real Italian when you speak. If you want to keep it simple and you need to look for a word that connects two sentences that contrast one another, then simply go with ma, M-A, ma. In English, you would use the word but, basically in the same way, because you would use it to introduce an idea that contrasts with something that you just said. Let's look at this example. Mario è italiano, ma parla perfettamente lo spagnolo. So I'm saying Mario is Italian, but he speaks fluent Spanish. See, I'm contrasting two things. Be careful on where you're positioning ma. Ma is used at the beginning of the second sentence, okay? So the sentence that expresses the contrast or opposition. Look at this example. Guardo molti film, ma non guardo mai le serie TV. I watch a lot of movies, but I never watch TV series. You notice that ma is at the beginning of the second sentence. Let's look at another sentence. Luigi vuole uscire, ma Maria vuole stare a casa. You see, ma is in the second sentence. Also with this one. Mi piace la pizza, ma preferisco la torta. You notice I'm placing ma at the beginning of the second sentence, the sentence that opposes to the first one. Ma often is also translated to the English however or nevertheless. In this case too, and also in English, it's used to introduce a statement that contradicts expectations or basically goes against what has been previously mentioned. Let's look at this example together. È stanca, ma continua a lavorare. So she's tired. However, she keeps working. Okay? Once again, you're using it to say however. In some cases, you can also use ma to express doubt or uncertainty, like when you're implying a sense of hesitation. Okay? Let's look at this example together. Vorrei venire, ma non so se posso. I would like to come, but I'm not sure if I can. Let's look at another one. Secondo me piove, ma potrei sbagliare. I think it's going to rain, but I could be wrong. So you're not sure, you're uncertain if what you just said is correct. Now, this is the basic information. You do have some typical Italian expressions with ma. So let's look at, let's say, the fun alternative ways of using ma. Right after this, I'll explain però and BENSI. Let's look at the expression ma va. In this case, you can translate it to really, seriously, no way, or like, come on. These are fun. Let's look at some examples. Ho vinto la lotteria! Ma va? So you have that sense of, really? Seriously? You won the lottery? Let's look at another one. Oggi ho visto una giraffa per strada. Ma va? So once again, you can use it to say, no way, really? Like as if you're in disbelief. Similar to ma va, you have a very common expression, which I love, which is Ma va là. This is more of a, "Ugh, come on, no way, get out of here." You are more in disbelief, okay? Or basically, you do not really believe what the person is saying. Ho trovato 100 euro per strada. Ma va là. You need a little bit of attitude when you say that, okay? Let's look at another one. Hai corso una maratona? Ma va là. It's more like, yeah, I really don't believe it. It's not true. I do not believe what you say. Remember to put a little accent on ma va là, okay? Let's look at another one. Hai già finito tutto il lavoro? Ma va là. I love it. I say it all the time. So you get the sense of, no way, that's impossible. I don't believe you. I'm in disbelief of this. Let's look at another expression with ma. Ma no. This is used in informal context and you're using it to deny something in a firm but gentle way. You're still expressing disapproval or you're like dismissing a hypothesis. Its tone can vary depending on the context and the intonation which you're using to pronounce this, okay? You can translate it to, but no, no way, or come on. Here are some common sentences for you. So you're going to use it to express disapproval. Look at this sentence. Voglio andare a vivere da solo. Ma no. Sei troppo giovane. So with, I don't think so. No, you're too young. Okay? That's a very common sentence for Italian mothers at the age of 35, of course. You can use it to express disbelief or like rejection. Credi che riesca a finire il progetto entro domani? Ma no, è impossibile. But no, absolutely, it's not possible. No way you're going to finish that project by tomorrow. You can also use it to like dismiss a hypothesis. Pensi che accetterà l'offerta di lavoro a Boston? So, do you think he'll accept the job offer in Boston? Ma no, è troppo legato a New York. But no, he's too attached to New York. So in this case, it's more like a hypothesis and you're saying, yeah, I don't think so. Now, you will enjoy the next one. It's one that I say a lot. And it's ma dai. Now, the meaning of this depends a lot on the intonation and the context. So you can have like a super fun with this. You can use it to express surprise or disbelief. For example, hai sentito che Sara si è trasferita in Giappone? So did you hear that Sarah moved to Japan? And you can say, ma dai? Like, no way. Seriously? Wow, amazing. Look at another example. Credi che Luca abbia vinto la gara? So, do you think that Luca won the race? Ma dai, impossibile. Come on, that's just impossible. Get that feeling? So you need to change intonation. You can also use it as like a form of encouragement or support. For example, one of your friends running the marathon and you want to support them and maybe they're feeling a little bit down. They're like, oh, non so se riesco, I don't know if I can. You can say, ma dai, certo che ce la farai. To say, yes, of course you're going to do it. Come on, you can do it, okay? That sense of encouragement. You can also use it if you just want to simply like acknowledge or state something. For example, ho preso un bel voto all'esame. I got a good grade on my exam. I could say, ma dai, complimenti. So like, wow, well done, congratulations. I'm acknowledging the fact that you got a good grade. But my favorite one is when you're using it to state the obvious. For example, if somebody tells me, Giulia, lo sai che il cielo è blu? So, Giulia, do you know that the sky is blue? I would probably say, ma dai? And this has the meaning of really, like duh. And I use it all the time. I love it. I love it. And you can now also use it as well. Now that you know all of the shades of ma, you're probably interested in knowing when to use però, with the accent on the o, però. Say it with me, però. The use is very similar to ma, and it also translates to but. Let's look at the same example that we saw with ma, and let's pop in però. Guardo molti film, però non guardo mai le serie TV. Big difference with però is that però can be used at the beginning of the second sentence, but you can also use it at the end of the sentence. Just like ma, you're going to use it when you're talking about contrast or opposition. Look at the same sentence that we saw before, but let's pop però at the end. Guardo molti film, non guardo mai le serie TV, però. So in this case, the meaning is similar to the English though. I would translate the sentence this way. I watch a lot of movies. I never watch TV series though. Okay? So you're using it in the same way as ma. The only thing is that ma always needs to be at the beginning of the second sentence, the sentence that contrasts or opposes to the first one. So you know ma, you know però. Let's add an extra conjunction word with a similar meaning. And I'm talking about BENSI. BENSI with a little accent, okay? Just like ma and però, BENSI is also used to introduce contrast between two different things or topics, okay? You have to be a little bit more careful on when you're using this because you will use it in the second sentence, so the sentence that contradicts or opposes, but only if the first sentence is a negative sentence. So you have two sentences, you're using BENSI in the second sentence, but the one before needs to be a negative sentence. Let's look at some examples. Non è italiano, bensì spagnolo. You see the first sentence? Non è is a negative sentence. Let's look at another example. Non è facile, bensì difficile. Non è facile is a negative sentence. Non solo ha detto di sì, bensì ha confermato la sua presenza. Once again, the first sentence needs to be negative, okay? You will not say è italiano, bensì non è spagnolo. No, no, no. In this case, the first sentence is positive. You do not have a negative non. So absolutely, you cannot write it out like this. Another mistake would be è facile, bensì non è difficile. Absolutely no. If you're using bensì, remember that the first sentence needs to be negative. Okay? So now that you know how to use ma, però, bensì, you can create fun sentences, write them in the comments, and I will check them out for you. As always, you can find all of this beautifully written out in the PDFs that you can download for free. The link is in the description box here below. If you're subscribed to my free newsletter, you probably already have the PDF in your inbox waiting for you to read it and study. See you next week. Un bacio. Ciao.